It's all about the Brahms. Now, I am in the middle of auditing the aspiring trailer composer course from Evident, and I just got done with one of the chapters yesterday where it taught you how to make your own sub hit, which was phenomenal. In just a couple minutes, I was able to bring in some samples I already had and make a sub hit that sounded great. And then it got a little further on. It talked about Brahms. You know Brahms. You've seen him in Inception trailers. And then they spread. There was a BRAAM epidemic. Brahms are probably here to stay because this is a trend that's stayed on for a while. So in the course, it kind of described a little bit how to create your own Brahms, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a try and see how much of the sound I can create with just the libraries I have. So first up, what I did is I took this sample library because I just got it. It's the Klaus Bio Machine. And the reason that I started with it is because this kind of inspired me. I thought that was a nice sound, and then I stacked it with this one. So you can already see it's got this gongy, low but sizzliness to it. The next step for me was to take one of my favorite brass libraries, the Soundiron Symphony series brass ensemble. And with this, it's got a bit of a bend up. So here's what this sample plays back as. And what I liked about that is I wanted to have a little bit of a rise before the epicness hits in my BRAAM. I didn't just want it to be like BRAAM. I wanted to have a blah, so it has a little bit of growth. Continuing on, I stacked it up with this library here, the horns from the Symphony series. And you can see the thing I love about this one is it's got all of that. It's a blast triple forte articulation. This is really kind of the heart of what you want your BRAAM to be, sizzling and mighty. Next up, I went over to the Spitfire instruments. I layered up the Spitfire 6-horn articulation here. So I'm not really doing it in order, as you can see. I kind of was doing it just however I felt. I've never made a BRAAM before, so I was experimenting. For the next couple too, I took the chimbasas and layered 2 different long articulations here. So you get a little bit more longness and a little more bite. So I'm just going to play back with the ones I have played for you so far, just these 5. So that's worthy of Brahmness. However, I wasn't about to stop there. How big, how epic can my Brahms get? That's what I kept thinking to myself. So I moved on to the bass trombone, a contra bass, a solo contrabass trombone, and also added the contrabass tuba. So that's nice. I can hear I've got one of my low, probably my tuba is hanging out there a little too long. I'll have to adjust him. Then I started to think about percussion, like what percussion was going to really help my attack for my BRAAM. I dug around quite a bit until I came into Sample Logic's Crack Shot. This is a patch from Assault, Great set of very hyped, aggressive impacts and percussion. See, so that gives that little swoop to it. So here you can hear it just with the previous brass, that Klaus instrument, and the crack shot. Okay, getting somewhere. I felt like I was starting to lose a little bit my brass wise. So I pulled up another tuba here. Let's see which one this is. This is the sustain tuba with a decrescendo. The reason I wanted that, I like that kind of that bubbly low end tuba-ness at the end there. And then I found another hit from the Assault. That one has that tight attack there, almost as if I was using some kind of timpani or something. This one I didn't label it because that's the second cracked shot. And the reason I had this one is because I EQ'd it just to get a little more crispness, and started sending them at this point all out to one of my favorite reverbs, a Valhalla Room, just to give it a really long room. This is it with a 7.16 second room delay. Continuing on, I wanted to add more grit from what I had here. So that's pretty nice, but I wanted to really dig into it and give it a little bit more low end hypedness to it. So I started getting into massive with that little bit of echo to continue it on, as well as some additional massive presets. These are all from the massive Doomsday presets by the Unfinished. I'll include links to everything that I talk about here, just so you know. So that one is so huge and airy. You could probably use that kind of on its own. Another massive preset that I used to layer. That one has a real bite. And then the last couple here, I used another one of these. I use the same sound, panned slightly with different start points. So I don't have them kind of attacking at the same point. And then last but not least is this Cloud Flame massive preset. You can hear that. Obviously, I want that long echo in that low midness to it. So after I built all of this together to get this BRAAM, here's what I got. A nice, long, deep rooted, a lot of impact with it, and I probably will continue to sculpt this even more and more. I think it's not uncommon from speaking to composer Danny Cocke, who has done a number of trailers. I got a chance to interview him a little while ago. He told me that he spends quite a bit of time doing this kind of layering and layering to get the massive amount of effects just for the kind of sound design he needs to get his trailer cues approved. So I expect to spend a little bit more time with this one to try to hone it in. But I thought I'd just pass this video along to show you how I made my first BRAAM. It's all about the Braams. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is my brand new VI composer channel. This is a place I could talk about composing and creating sounds and music and industry and marketing and all that kind of stuff for fellow composers. Please subscribe. I'd love your support. If you're not already involved, I'd love it if you would check out samplelibraryreview.com. I've been hosting that website for about a year now. We do lots of reviews, sample libraries, do a lot of discounts, giveaways. We have a weekly on sales now post, which lists everything that's on our radar so you can grab things when they're a great deal. So I'll include the links to everything that I talked about, as well as my VI Composer subscription link and my samplelibraryreview.com link.